Republicans are rushing to use Biden's win to slam the left. So these people want more say in the direction of a Biden administration than the actual base of the Democratic Party. They want to override Democrats. So this is John Kasich, former Republican governor. And you have Mitt Romney also you're going to see. Let me play this for you, and then we'll talk about it.
I'm not going to talk about my vote. That's in the rearview mirror. I'm going to talk now about how I can work with the new president. I know he's on the other side of the aisle, but I want to make sure that we conservatives keep on fighting to make sure that we don't have a Green New Deal, we don't get rid of gas and coal and oil, that we don't have a Medicare for all plan put in place, that we don't raise taxes on American enterprise. That would kill the economy. So, look, I congratulate him, but I'm not going to put aside conservative principles. We're going to fight for the things that we believe in.
Now is the time for Democrats, and I believe Joe Biden will do this, to begin to listen to what the other half the country has had to say. But we have to listen to what those folks, those Republicans, all across this country has had to say. The best thing that's happened to Joe Biden is the fact that the United States Senate is either going to be Republican or very close, and the far left can push him as hard as they want. And frankly, the Democrats have to make it clear to the far left that they almost cost him this election. And that congresswoman from Virginia warned the Democrats, you want to talk about defunding the police, you'll have no support. And I think this is an opportunity for Biden to talk about the center right and the center left of this country and what can be achieved. Because we have enormous problems with debt, Social Security, Medicare, health care. Little steps, little steps. One other thing, one Democrat told me at some point, if they'd have been more clear in rejecting the hard left, they would have appealed more to Americans who I believe essentially live in the middle. So I think actually he's in a better position today because being pulled from the left isn't going to work.
I need everybody to understand how wrong that is. This is from Common Dreams. Every single one. Ocasio-Cortez notes every Democrat who backed Medicare for All won re-election in 2020. The same cannot be said for those more centrist lawmakers who continue to defend the nation's increasingly unpopular for-profit healthcare system. Now, you might say, yeah, but weren't they all in safe districts? So of course the Democrats were going to win. Wrong. Even in swing districts. In swing districts, Medicare for All supporters swept. Swing districts. To give you some examples, Jared Golden, Ann Kirkpatrick, Mike Levin, Katie Porter, Susan Wild, Matt Cartwright. So, if you support Medicare for All, you win. That's what happened. That's what happened. The blue dogs and the corporatists lost. That's what happened. So, it is untrue to go out there and say, oh, the far left almost cost him this election. Really? Ilhan Omar increased turnout. Rashida Tlaib increased turnout and delivered their respective states to Joe Biden. John Kasich, Ohio. Who did Ohio go to again? It's supposed to be a swing state. Who did it go to? It went to Donald Trump. You did not deliver your state to Joe Biden. So how about you, www.shutup.org. They're going to try to control the direction of this administration, and you know what? Biden's probably going to listen because he kind of agrees with them. His politics are closer to John Kasich than to Bernie Sanders, for sure. Between him and Romney, they say, oh, listen, I just want to make sure we don't have a Green New Deal. Again, imagine this mindset when we had the 1929 stock market crash and the Great Depression. Imagine this mindset. I just want to make sure we don't have a New Deal. Let's not do a New Deal. Definitely not a New Deal. The New Deal helped save the country, helped save the economy, gave people jobs, income, helped build our middle class, which was the envy of the world at the time. I mean, come on. So, railing against the Green New Deal, Romney says, I want to make sure we don't have Medicare for All. I want to make sure we don't get off of oil and gas. Kasich says, Democrats, what's the lesson from this election? That Democrats have to listen to Republicans. Really? That's the lesson? Pretty sure that's not the lesson, and you just made that up. By the way, when Trump beat the other Republicans, when Trump beat you, was that a message from the voters? Hey, we like what Trump has to say about not cutting Social Security and Medicare. We like what Trump has to say about not outsourcing jobs, about getting out of the wars. Was that the message then? No, you didn't say that. You didn't say that at all. And now somehow, when Biden wins, the message you think voters are sending is listen to Republicans, namely people like you? No. Obviously, the message is, hey, we like Medicare for all, because polls show 70% of the American people support it, and the pro-Medicare for all lawmakers swept. Funny how that's not your takeaway. It's almost like you're a hack and you're working backwards from your conclusions. And then, by the way, he really shows you exactly where his head is as he keeps talking there, because he slips in the issues he cares about. He's like, oh, we need to make sure that we address our problems. Like, we got to do something about the debt, and we got to do something about Social Security and Medicare. Do you see what his priorities are? His priorities are, let's address the debt and the deficit, which, by the way, economists will tell you right now that's the last thing you should do. Why? Because our economy is imploding. You need government spending. You need stimulus. You need to make sure that a recession doesn't become a depression. The last thing you should do is try to balance the budget or reduce the deficit or the debt. Are you kidding me? We just gave $5 trillion to corporations. You weren't saying anything about the debt then. You weren't saying anything about the debt when they did the Trump tax cuts, added $2 trillion to the deficit spending to finance the rich, to give them more money that they don't need. You didn't say anything then. But now that, oh my God, we need another stimulus check for the American people. Now all is, oh my God, the debt, the deficit, we can't, I don't know, this is crazy. We can't keep going down this path. And when he says Social Security, Medicare, he means cut it. Cut it. That's what he means. This is how he wants to work with Biden. Let's cut benefits for working Americans. This is what he means. By the way, they're going to try to dress it up. They're going to try to be like, oh no, what I mean is reform. We got to reform these programs, not cut it, reform it. Reform always means effective cut. That's what it means. And he knows he's got a partner in Joe Biden because Joe Biden has repeatedly tried to do the grand bargain, which is cutting Social Security and Medicare, and then they'll present it to the American people as if it's some sort of victory and as if they're saving these programs for the long run. So look out. These guys are sharks, and they're going to try to control the direction of this administration, and they're probably going to succeed in that because Joe Biden's politics are very, very close to John Kasich's. And the amount of disdain they have for the left should be eye-opening to you. And this is why I said all along, the left should not just go along to get along with Joe Biden. You need to get concessions. You need to get guaranteed concessions on paper, on the record. Bernie Sanders saying, oh, I hope I could be labor secretary or whatever. You should have demanded that before you dropped out and started campaigning for him, you weakling. Brings me no pleasure to say this, but he doesn't know how power functions. He's, oh, I'll do for them, and then maybe they'll do for me. They never do. They never do for you, ever. So I'm, if you can't tell, I'm frustrated. And I'm frustrated also because of, you know, even like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez giving these interviews talking about, oh, we need to unify and come together. Every single corporate goon in D.C. just spent the last week shitting on you relentlessly and blaming you for losses, and it's not even your fault at all. The Medicare for All people won. So you won, but they're blaming you, and then you turn around and your answer is, we need to unify? Fight back. Use the bully pulpit. They're going to blame you no matter what. So you can, oh, Mama Bear Nancy Pelosi, don't be a pawn in their game. Don't be a pawn in their game. They're always going to blame you publicly, even though they'll pat you on the head behind the scenes to try to keep you in line. Throw around your weight. Go after them. If they deny you a committee assignment because you're going after them, call it out. There's a democratic civil war, and only one side is actually fighting it. The corporatists are fighting it against the left, and the left is like, oh, gosh, golly, wouldn't it be nice if we got along? It was never like you could hold hands and work with these people, because these people are all like John Kasich, Bernie, AOC. They're all like John Kasich. The sooner you recognize the corporate Democrats are your enemy, the sooner you adopt the proper approach to this, which is throw your weight around. They're your enemy. There's a reason why all the Republicans ran against Nancy Pelosi and then won as they ran against her. And she has the nerve to turn around and say, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is why we lost. Then why are all these Republican ads? Why do they have you in them? She's way more unpopular than AOC. Are you kidding me? Especially on the policies. So let's wake up here. Let's wake up here. And now everybody was saying, oh my God, we'll hold Joe Biden accountable starting day one. First of all, you should have never not held him accountable. You should have never said like, oh, I'll hold my fire. Why? Why? Because Trump's bad? Yeah, I got it. Trump's bad. You could say Trump's bad, also saying Biden's pretty shitty too. But okay, now he's in. What are you going to do? And I know the dynamic. I know what's going to happen. I know that now, still, anytime you criticize Biden, you'll be accused of helping Republicans. Because I've seen this movie before. I lived through, 2008 and throughout the entire Obama years. I've seen it all. This idea that like, oh, the second that Biden's in there, now we'll push him left. He's not going left, number one. But number two, when you make these arguments, they're still going to accuse you of helping the Republicans. And they're going to say, well, there's an election, coming up in a few years. So you don't want to hurt Democrats for that election, do you? Sit down and shut up and know your place. So let's wake up. They're waging an assault on the left. Republicans are, moderate Republicans are, the far right is, and the corporate Democrats are. Correct the record and fight back. Correct the record and fight back. Medicare for All was a winner, and the American people want it. And we have a pandemic, and these ghouls are telling us we can't have universal health care when every other developed country has universal health care. They're liars, and they're corrupt.